Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me, either live or watching the recording. I am so excited to be doing this today because I've been using my Healy for, I think, nearly 2 months. And it feels really exciting to be able to share it more and share it with Rochelle, who is here to help me do this. So thank you for coming to do this with me, Rochelle. So before we get started with Healy, I just wanted us all to just take a moment to land here, because I know we've probably all been rushing to make it to be here live or to find space to watch the recording. And I know when I do these things, sometimes I'm doing them while I'm also doing something else, and I'm just not very present. So I really just try and take a moment to be here and to set my intention for why I'm here. So if you just close your eyes for just a moment and take some beautiful cleansing breaths in and out. And just say thank you to yourself for taking the time to be here. There is a reason you're here. And there will be an intention that you have for why you have made the time. So I just want you to tune into that intention. And just really be here now with that intention so that you can hear all the parts of this that are meant for you. Lovely. And thank you so much from me for being here as well and taking this time. So come back into this space and I will introduce you to Healy. So before I talk to you about Healy and what it is and what it does, and Rochelle's going to talk more about how it works, I just wanted to say a little bit about why I said yes to Healy. Because I always love to hear everyone's Healy stories and how they got started. So I heard about Healy at the beginning of this year, had never heard of it before. And a friend of mine, Ali, couldn't stop talking about it. She was just like, Healy, 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 Healy. She was so excited because she'd got hers and she'd started to use it and started to feel the effects of it. And so she just kept, every time I saw her, she was just like, Healy, I need to tell you about Healy. And I was a bit like, oh, I wasn't quite sure. But slowly, when I heard the word, I was like, there's something there. And even though I didn't understand it, it didn't make sense to me really, I just felt a yes, and the yes got bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I said, Ali, I really need to sit down with you and hear about this Healy. So we had a lovely coffee and a chat, and she showed me Healy. And the minute she sort of got the apps out, and I was a bit like, I can remember feeling really confused. My brain just going, what? Oh no, I'm never going to remember all this. But my heart was just going, yes, this is amazing. And my body was like feeling it. So I was just a full body yes. And my poor brain was like, oh no, I've got to catch up. I've got to understand quantum physics. I've got to understand how all these apps work. I've got to understand where to put the straps. I'm not listening because my heart is just going, yay. And I was like so excited. And I just had this, I just remember feeling like overwhelmed with excitement and overwhelmed with how on earth am I ever going to explain this to anybody else? I just was trying to hold these two things. So that was like my beginning of Healy. And my heart was really saying yes, because I have got 4 children and 3 of them are autistic, and my husband is also autistic, and we've got ADHD in the mix of that. So I'm holding a lot for my family, and my nervous system takes a battering like all the time because I'm feeling all that they have to deal with, and I'm kind of holding that. So I'm holding so much. So my yes was very much for me, for my nervous system. I knew I was depleted. I knew I was exhausted. I knew that I was doing so much for myself, but I needed something else. And so I just knew it was for me. But I also had a real deep yes for my children. I just intuitively knew this was going to be good for them and good for our family, which I can report 2 months in is an absolute yes. It's been, my boys haven't explored it yet. They're kind of, I can see they're sort of watching and wondering what the girls are up to. But my girls just straight away were like, let me have a go. I want to go. That is amazing. So we are all really, really feeling the benefits of it. I just love it. I love it. I love it. And I just want to tell everyone, and I just want to share my excitement and my love for it. And the more people I talk to who are using it, the more I love it and the more excited I get. I just feel like I'm only just beginning with the potential of what, the power and the potential of this. And not just the power and the potential of this, but the power and potential of this, of me. And the beautiful way that we work with Healy. So it's not just, take a tablet or plug your Healy in and let it do the work. It's very much like a dance between the two. And I just really love that, because I'm fully into intentional living. If you've ever done anything with me before, or know me as a friend, you'll know that is how I live my life. And the intention of Healy from the founder of Healy, the intention in which you get the best results. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to talk you through some beautiful slides that I didn't make, I have to say. And I think one of the absolutely beautiful things about Healy is the community and the true sharing and the true support. I've done things before where it's not really been support and sharing, it's really been competition disguised as sharing. And what I feel with Healy is it's true, the Healy community, it's true sharing, it's true community. And we'll talk a bit more about Healy as a business and as a community at the end. Rochelle will talk to us about that. But so I've got to use these slides because we can all use these slides, which I just think is incredible. So here we go. So, oh no, hang on. There we go. So this was the bit that didn't scare me. It absolutely fascinated me. I adore the fact that Healy is science and spirituality meeting. To me, that is just beautiful. But the quantum physics bit, I was like, I'm never going to be able to share that with anyone to explain it properly. And what if people ask me questions and I don't know how to answer? So here goes anyway. So we have got these two beautiful quotes. You might have heard them before. You might have seen them shared before on Instagram. But one from Albert Einstein: concerning matter, we have been all wrong. What we have called matter is energy, whose vibration has been so lowered as to be perceptible to the senses. There is no matter. And Nikola Tesla: if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And these people, when I read these, when I see them shared, it just, again, this is the stuff that makes my heart go, yes, 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 this is true and exciting. And I just love that science, not just quantum physics, but other science, I feel, is like catching up with this, which is exciting. So original blueprint, this is another piece of the kind of Healy vision and what Healy is that just makes my heart just sing and my body have all the kind of goosebumps. Healy is a frequency device that reads us in our original blueprint and scans and identifies everything that we are holding on to that is not our soul's essence, not in alignment. Then this device recommends frequency programs that start to unwind what is not in harmony with our design. We then apply the frequency programs via the device to start to shift those energies out of our physical body, bringing us back into whole balance, coherence, and alignment. And I just think, like, wow, like, we are so lucky to be alive right now and to be having this device to work with in this way. And I think that, you know, several people have said to me when I've been talking to them about Healy, well, we can just do that ourselves. We can do that through meditation. We can do that through, you know, working spiritual work. We can do that through therapy. There's all, you know, these ways that we can do that ourselves. And absolutely. But that is what Healy is doing. That is enabling ourselves to get back to our true essence. And there's so many ways that you can work with Healy. There's, you know, the aura analysis, the coach app, which we will talk about shortly, but that it is that collaboration between you and the Healy. It's very much not about plugging this in and it does its magic. I feel it is magic, but it's really working with you and bringing you back into alignment. So these are the incredible creators. Marcus Schmicker is a quantum physicist, and he was also a Vedic monk for 12 years, which, wow, like, what a combination, what a beautiful combination. And there's some wonderful videos you can go and watch of Marcus explaining the kind of why and his vision that he had. I think I'm right in saying that he had the vision of creating Healy, probably not quite like, you know, this vision, but the vision of creating something that was going to really change and rescue and uplift humanity. And that was while he was a monk. And I think that is why he came out of his monkhood, I believe. Is that right, Rochelle?
Yeah, I mean, I actually heard Marcus speak a few weeks ago, and we're going to hear him speak on Friday at our event. But yeah, he is like Albert Einstein of our times, and he understood quantum physics from a very, very early age, and he actually started sort of analyzing quantum physics papers from some of the leading world experts, and one of them reached out to him and said, you know, wanted to form a relationship with him. And actually gave him, after they'd formed this relationship and he trusted him, the information in order to be able to create the quantum sensor for Healy, but with the promise that he would only use it for good, because it's like the atomic bomb, it can be used for good or bad. But yeah, the reason he went into monkhood was because he'd got now at that point this deep understanding of how the multiverse works, and, you know, the quantum field, the information field, consciousness, human consciousness, and how consciousness is actually what, you know, comes before everything else. It comes before matter. Like we create our own reality, and he wanted to really embody that, which is why he became a monk. And yeah, when he came out, he then had these fortuitous meetings, including with Nuno Nina, who's a leading expert in terms of frequencies and understanding how frequencies come together to support different systems in the body. And so all these kind of events led to him first creating Time Waver, which is the large version of Healy. And then, you know, technology kind of reached a point where they could create a smaller version, which is Healy, which is, yeah, really was his vision to have a Healy, you know, in billions of homes across the world, to empower individuals with frequency support for their mental, physical, emotional well-being without having to go to a practitioner. So
yeah, amazing. I love that word, empower, as well. I feel that is really, I feel that with Healy. I feel that I've seen that with my daughters as well. So my eldest is 16, my youngest is 10. So they're coming at this, you know, with slightly different ages. But yes, I see that in the way they want to use it, that it's empowering them. It's not like fixing something. It's not taking something away. Like it's empowering. So I love that word. Thank you, Rochelle. So yes, there's Nina that who Rochelle mentioned, and he created the gold programs, didn't he? I think, which are the programs on the Healy that Healy kind of recommend that you use for the first couple of weeks of using Healy. I think so many people like go, yeah, that's nice, but I also want to try everything else because there's so many things that you can try. But I have to say, I love the gold programs. I really love them, and I love how often they come up for me when I do my scan. I think they know that I love them. I think there's a good connection. So I really love that. And then there's Jan. I don't know how to pronounce his name, which is not good of me because
I don't know how to say his last name, but yeah.
Yeah. So he's in Norway, and so he's also been developing and working on this, hasn't he? With the I haven't watched a lot about what he's been doing.
Yeah, so he's a student actually of Nuno's, and he did an incredible 2-hour video that people can watch if they really want to get into the science of understanding how voltage in our cells is so important for our health. And he created a group of programs on the Healy called Deep Cycle H that are for, there's protocols you can follow using those specific programs, which we'll show you in a minute. Not the protocols, but I'll show you how it looks on the screen in the Healy itself. But you can follow them to support the cleansing of different body systems depending on what areas you kind of tend to struggle with the most. So he's not like, I made these slides, so I put him there because he's really inspiring to me. But there are so many of these like frequency experts that are contributing to creating the programs for Healy, and he's very cool to listen to. He's very, very knowledgeable.
Amazing. I must add that to my list of things. I think that is what I love. I mean, I love learning. And that's another thing I love about Healy, is that it's just opened up like all this stuff to learn, like not just about the science, but about the body. And I'm just like, give me more, give me more. I love it. Okay, so this is the everything is energy, which again, you might have seen these slides or these images on Instagram or on social media. With the wavelengths, I think it's always interesting when someone might kind of be like, well, how's frequency going to work? How's frequency going to help you? How, what do you mean everything is energy? But then the minute you start literally looking around your room, looking around your, your life, your world, everything is energy. We can't deny that at all. And we also can't deny that there's lots of these things like, the TV, the radio, the microwave in our homes, the lights, the x-rays that we might have at the hospital. It's everywhere, doing good things and maybe some not good things, but everything is energy. And I love the tuning fork. There's a lovely little video that has been going around on Instagram where they hit one fork, and it's only when the one that is in resonance with it is going to sound, so another one. And that is kind of, it's just a really beautiful way of thinking. I always love when I'm using anything that's going into my body, medicine or even a glass of water or the Healy, the frequency. I love to kind of imagine it visually, like going in and doing its magic. And I love the tuning fork one of thinking of my cells and the frequency in my body going in from the Healy as one tuning fork, and then my body resonating with that. Like, just when I was little, I had this Usborne book about the body, and it was all these little like people and things happening in the body, inside the body, and it's just really stuck with me as a way of like doing my life. So those little tuning forks, I've been really visualizing those, so I really like that. And there's some more beautiful energy pictures. I feel like everything that I've intuitively known since I was little with energy and felt with energy and for a long time kind of got confused about why no one else was feeling stuff that I was feeling, or wasn't talking in the way that I was thinking in my head about energy. I feel the wonderful thing is that science is like now able to show us that and catch up with that. And again, that's what I love about the Healy. I feel like, yeah, that makes sense to my little, 6-year-old brain, that I can remember sort of really sensing energy, feeling it, seeing it, but then going, why are we not having any conversations about this? So yeah, really love that. So this is so the Healy can be used in 2 ways, well, more than 2 ways, but let's just kind of try and keep it a little bit simple. So that I am wearing, I think, Rochelle, you've got your wristband, you've got your wires on, haven't you? So you can see that I have got, I'll take it off and put that so people can see. I think you can see me if you can see my screen. So I've got the Healy with the coil in it, and Rochelle has got her straps on with the wires that go into the Healy. And so the version that Rochelle is using right now, and it comes it comes with the wires, and then you add on the coil. The way that Rochelle is using it, or there's the coil. She might not have it switched on right now, but the wires will put the microcurrent into your body, into your cells. And this is really helping the voltage of your cell, like a battery. I love this visual here with the cells and the low battery. And again, with me thinking about my little body in really visual ways, when I wear my straps, which I do, like I usually do 1 of those a day, and then I use my coil just because that's kind of how it fits in with my life. But when I'm using the straps, I'm really thinking about all my cells, batteries, as little batteries, and they're being boosted and into the green, so they're like recharged. And there's lots more we could talk about that, but could go into all of that. But there's many beautiful videos on these everything we're talking about. You could go and look into for hours. But how it works, you can go and kind of look at that in more detail. But yeah, when the cellular voltage is correct, then the human body can be healthy. And I really feel the benefit on the days when I use the microcurrent, the straps, over just using the coil. I feel like my body has had a really good like boost and reset. It's kind of how I feel about that. I think it's really easy if you have the coil, because there's no faffing. You can just pop it on, and if you don't want it to be visible, you can just pop it underneath or in a pocket or whatever. And then you're kind of free. Haven't got any wires, and you can go out and about and do all your things. And it's really easy, I think, to forget that actually the microcurrent is also really, really important. So I try and get that in nice and early in the day. So I feel like I've done it and I'm boosted and ready. And here is the coil. So yeah, as Rochelle showed you, this is the coil that slips into the Healy. And this is working with with our bioenergetic field. So this is different to the microcurrent, but it's still incredibly supportive. And the thing I love about this as well, when my children want to use it, especially if maybe they're not feeling well, it's very easy to just slip on to that. Like if Rudy, my youngest, she might be feeling very depleted and she might be on the verge of a meltdown, and so she kind of doesn't want the straps and all the interference, but I can just slip this onto her t-shirt and she's very happy to have it on because she knows. But I really like that aspect of the coil, and I also find it's very gentle, and I feel it really caring. Like I feel a really caring energy with the coil, like a kind of hug. And yeah, you can't use all the programs. So the Healy IMF programs but not the microcurrent based programs. And the app tells you, so it's easy to know what to do and what not to do. But yes, it's a different way of the frequency supporting your body. I love this slide. I think I love this slide because my husband is a technologist, and so we are surrounded by tech, and it's, we've been together for pretty much 20 years now, and so technology is a big part of our family. So I think, again, that's another reason why the Healy really spoke to me. And I love it when technology is used for good. And I feel that is exactly what Healy is. So Healy is here to reawaken the potential we have as humans. Tech is a method of delivery of frequencies as we use sound systems to deliver music to us. The deep, intricate shifts that take place make you into the person you have always wanted to be beneath the layers. Healy has no bias. And I love that as well. I really love that about Healy. And I think as Rochelle is going to show you the Healy and the Healy apps and how it works, you will see that Healy has no bias piece, and how beautiful that is, because I think we so often think we know what we need, or we think we know what our child needs. And I think there is definitely a place to work together with Healy and to kind of think, does that resonate with me? I'm not sure. Maybe not, but also I just love the way that Healy, I feel like Healy's just like, no, this is what's going on for you. Like, trust me, run this program, and then we can work together on that. I think so often we think that, this is very much how we are taught to work with our body, treating the symptoms and not the cause. And I feel really that Healy brings up what's going on underneath those layers. It's like, okay, your skin might be itchy or inflamed. Is it to do with your skin? Probably not. It's like, where is that layer? And I think that Healy really beautifully tells us. And and with no judgment, no bias, it's beautiful. So Rochelle, would you like to yes, should we just do this one, because I do really like this why now. And frequency is the future of wellness. Bioenergetics is the key to changing our physical and emotional realities. Healy helps us evolve and take us into the next level of thriving, not just surviving. Humanity is ready and the time is now. And that thriving piece fits so beautifully into my way of intentionally living every day. I'm really wanting to thrive and not just survive. And I think that we as humanity are really ready for that. So I think it's so perfectly timed that this is now. So Rochelle, shall I stop sharing my screen and then you can share yours? Yeah.
Great. Really lovely to hear you share that. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting one, because a lot of people are, which I can understand, people who work with energy work, they're like, oh, I don't need Healy. But that whole piece around technology and Healy not having a bias, because for me, like, a really good way of kind of understanding the information field or the quantum field, it's very hard to understand in many ways, but we have like length, this is where I've heard it described, length is like one dimension, and we add width, and then we've got the second dimension, then we're adding depth, which is the third dimension, and then we layer into that time, which is the fourth dimension, and that's how we experience life as humans. But informing everything within our lived experience is the information field, which is the fifth and sixth dimensions. And the way I kind of envisage it is that, I'm sure everyone's watched The Matrix, those humans that are living in the Matrix that don't know they are, like, what's kind of coding their experience you know, you see that flashing around sometimes, don't you, the green coding, and like that's kind of like how I can understand in my head what the information field is, and that informs energy, which therefore informs our matter and our lived experience, and frequencies are the language with which it kind of is all speaking to us as humans and with everything in nature. So we have only 5 senses as humans, and I know people have other ways of tapping into things, but the Healy has this quantum sensor which accesses into the quantum information field to give us like that information back to us for our body to use. And maybe some humans can do that, but most of us can't, even those who do the kind of deeper work. That's why many practitioners are using this now in all types of work, because it gives them another layer of access to information around their clients, and then obviously we have that available to us as individuals if we have it in our homes as well. So it's a very exciting thing in every way. So yeah, what I'm going to show you is just kind of practically how it works. Now, it's kind of a little bit bad timing in the sense that we're getting a new version of the first app I'm going to show you tomorrow. But if you get your Healy, then you can come and watch some of the trainings we've done on the new version of the app. I don't have access to it right now. So this blue app is where we scan ourselves in the information field. And I'm just going to show you quickly what this looks like. So you have the ability to scan for many things. It's laid out much more clearly in the new version of the app. But if we go into the resonance scan, choose me, you can add many people into this, which is why you can use it for everyone in your household. You can use it for clients if you work with clients. You can add a lot of people in. I have to have the Bluetooth attached while I'm scanning, and then very briefly as I send the program to my Healy, but then I turn it off. And that I'm saying because that's important to me. I wouldn't want to be wearing something that required me to have Bluetooth on my body all the time. So if you're seeing me put on the Bluetooth, that's what I'm doing very briefly for this process. So what I can do first of all is I can go in and I can scan to see which program the Healy wants me to run. And just bear with me because this will make sense as we go through. So I'm going to scan all of the programs that are available to me on Healy, which is like 200. I've got about 245 available to me, but as standard on the top model, it's 229 programs available, which is amazing. And they're all around, you know, some are around half an hour, but the majority are around an hour long. And you receive them through the wrist straps or through the coil, as Emily said. So on the new version of the app, the fingerprint is gone because everyone's like, oh, it's taking my fingerprint. It's not. It just wants you to be present in your body. So if you just pressed a button and you could just look around while it was scanning you, it's not going to work in the same way. So we're holding intention. We're connecting into our bodies and connecting into our blueprint, which is in the information field, and asking Healy to deliver us the information that we need to know which program to run to best support our body in the moment. So deep cycle programs have come up at the top. So these are all the program groups that it will give me 5 possible program groups that are resonant for me right now in this moment. So the deep cycle programs have come up first. So actually what I want to do runs a lot more smoothly in the new app. But what I want to do is I want to go and find the deep cycle programs, and I want to scan into those to know which one. So digest all, which is funny because literally just before I did this, I was thinking, oh, my tummy feels a little bit sore. Like literally as I was pressing the button. Okay, so digestible has come up. So you can see that, by the way, kidney, harmony, male. Like, she's definitely a girl. There's yin and yang within the kidneys, and so that's what that's talking about there. Okay, so we will close this app, because that's the scanning app. That's the place where we access the information field. Now, this pink app here is where the programs are stored. So we spoke about the big version of the Healy time waver, and there are a lot of frequency machines that are massive. But what makes the Healy accessible to everyone is that it's small. And the way that they make it small is that they have a big server where all of the frequencies, all of the programs are stored. That's because someone's at my door. I don't know what to do about that. It's fine. And we access the programs via the cloud. So this app allows us to, just want to check that no one's knocking. No. We access all of the programs through the cloud. And so we transmit each program as we need it. So the Healy doesn't need to store 229 programs. It just stores one each time. So what you would do is you would go in and you would find the program that it had told you needed to run. In the new version of the app, for those who are watching, who will get their Healy after this, by the way, and anyone who's watching has already got their Healy, tomorrow you'll have the new app. But you will actually just press in the blue version of the app on the program it wants you to run, and it will just immediately take you into the pink app. But we'll go in, we'll find deep cycle H. It says I need digestol. I'll press it. It tells you to wear it with the wrist straps. You can also use the coil for this one. Anything where it says that this is available through IMF as well, which it does here. You can see IMF at the top, means that you can also use the coil. And then you would transmit the program into the Healy. Strap yourself in. So with the wrist straps, you're creating an electrical circuit around the body, and the water in your body acts as a conductor for the frequencies to move around the body, voltage to move around the body. You can wear the wires down your sleeve so they're not in the way. That's what I normally do. And then I'll just turn it up. Normally it's around 35% for me, works well. It just waits to check that there's a circuit being created. If not, you have to sort of tighten the wrist straps a bit, but you can see there the circuit's been created. So now I will carry on with my day, or I'll lie down, whatever I want to do, and receive this program for an hour. I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it afterwards. Now, I just want to show you really quickly the program groups that are available. So gold are the programs that Emily mentioned at the, when she was talking about Nuno Nina. They're called gold because they're worth more than gold in terms of the benefits they can give to the body. They are the foundational programs, but they're ones to come back to over and over again, and you can kind of see their intention from what they say. Pure is, for detox. Release is for emotional release, but also can be used for pain. The rest are kind of self-explanatory. These are the pain programs. You can actually plug these little white wires into these sticky pads and stick them on parts of your body where you might have pain. A bit like a TENS machine, but more effective. So my mum says she uses it a lot for pain in her back and also in her feet. So that, and there's 8 pain programs there. We've got learning programs, which are really good for neurodiversity kind of situations, that maybe Emily uses those in her home, but also just generally for learning and concentration and stress. Fitness programs, Again, they kind of do what they say on the can. In fact, I was speaking to Emily's friend Sarah this morning, and Sarah said for the first time she ran with stamina on, and normally she'd stop at 15 minutes to walk a little bit, but she managed to run for half an hour without stopping, and that was the first time she tried that. So I'm keen to try that one myself because I've not tried it. Job programs, there for the nervous system, and then sleep programs, mental health programs. The Healy is actually medically registered for mental health issues and also pain. So we are allowed to say that. Some things we have to skirt around the issue because they're not, it's not compliant to talk about it, because goodness forbid that we talk about using something that's not pharmaceutical for our health. Beauty and skin programs, again, kind of self-explanatory. These ones are for body systems. So defense, think about the system that is used for defense in the body. Again, not allowed to say it, but shiver, think about what body movement you might make if you have a particular ailment that comes up often in the winter with your nose and your throat. There's mature woman, right? For women, you can see what that might be. That happens monthly. Potency is for the reproductive system in general. So these are kind of body systems. Gastrointestinal harmony, impurities is supporting detoxification. Working with the meridians in the body, chakras. These programs are only available with the top model, but they're energetic protection programs. So for around people, EMF protection, planetary energy protection. The sleeping one's an interesting one because sometimes people are struggling to sleep because of certain energies that are happening around them. So that is where that one can be used. Again, more bioenergetic defense and coherence is really about bringing mind, body, and spirit together as an individual, but also as a collective. Marcus created that one for the collective. Again, more body system programs. These are the ones that I mentioned with Jan Frederick. Body system, but you can use them in a protocol to support the well-being, depending on what issues you have going on. Then we have 72 programs that are actually digital nutrition. And I listened to a really great podcast the other day around this. Like, we are now in a time where 3D supplementation, actually the body is not only ready for more, but actually probably was always better equipped to receive the frequencies of nutrients, because we are energetic beings. And actually, people spend a lot of money on supplementation, and a lot of them are absolute crap. In fact, most supplements are extracted forms of a nutrient that the body can't fully recognize and assimilate because it's not come from the whole food source. And so having the frequencies of nutrients is really a very, very powerful thing for the body to be able to utilize and bring itself back into harmony. So these are really fantastic. They're available on the professional, the top model. And there's, like I say, there's 72 of those. There's a lot. Power of Three, they're great programs. There's a protocol you can follow. It's about preparing our bodies for the times that we're in as humanity. It's a protocol that you follow for that, using some Ayurvedic, but various other frequencies. And then these ones aren't available with most models. So just to show you those, so you can visualize that, what you can get with the Healy. But just coming back here into this blue app, just to show you also very quickly. So what we do with the blue app, the way that we work with the blue app, it's not microcurrent, it's vibrating. So we can do the scan, but we can also vibrate frequencies to ourselves using the blue app. So I'm just going to give you an example here. Reconnecting. I home educate my children, so they're in the background there. Okay, so you can scan to see which crystals you're resonant with right now. That's the gem elixirs at the top, Australian bushflower remedies, the buckflower remedies, the homeopathic remedies. You can see there, creative homeopathy, tissue salts at the bottom there, vital substances. Okay, I've never done that. Actually, that's new. Okay, I'll look at that later. But I'm just going to give you an example here of the back flower remedies. They're pretty shadowy, by the way, these scans. It's quite emotional stuff. A lot of it can be generational because it's really getting deep into the subconscious. But also, and this also applies to the homeopathic scans, you cannot, Healy cannot tell us the physical properties of these remedies because of European compliance, medical reasons. They're not allowed to kind of say you've got this physical thing specifically going on. So they tell us the emotional property of the remedy because they're allowed to. And then we can go and Google that, and you'll probably then see a physical correlation with something you have going on. But I want to scan this just so I can show you then how we can vibrate the frequencies. Don't be too concerned about me when you see this come up. Okay. Escape into daydreams, fantasies, and the resulting absent-mindedness and mental absence. Apparently that's my mental state. It's actually not, so I don't think, but maybe there's something deeper going on there. Extreme exhaustion of the body, mind, and soul. That's fairly accurate. My husband's away. Escaping into a toddler role, putting oneself or one's problem in the focus and making one's excessively dependent on others. I definitely feel like doing that right now. Lack of confidence in the inner voice and opinion. That's not something that I'm personally experiencing, but again, there is definitely deeper stuff in there for me from my childhood for sure. And a weak willpower. Now, this is something I've always been working on, not so much the willpower, but saying no. Like, I'm always someone who wants to people please. So what I do here, hang on, let me just one sec. So what I can do here now, these aren't programs that you run through microcurrent. You receive these through the information field. So this is where we can use the Blue app distance. We can do this for anyone, anywhere in the world, which is, again, very empowering, that you can support your friends and your family with frequencies through the information field using the quantum sensor anywhere in the world. You add them as a client into your app, into your Blue app. You might be like, how is that working? How is that going to work? Just try it. It's amazing what comes up in the scans. People are like, when you're doing the physical scans, or the back flower remedies, or something else, which I'll show you in a minute, but then we just vibrate. I'll just do it really quickly. Vibrate this to myself for 8 seconds so you can see this. So we're vibrating the frequencies of those remedies to me. Now, I could take the remedy if I had it, but I don't need to, because the frequencies of the remedies are there and available to us through the Healy. Now, we can also go in and scan my my aura, my chakras. This is much nicer in the new version of the app, but it's showing that the lower kind of chakras in terms of their energy for me are the crown, the heart, and the sacral. And then I can start an analysis on those, and it will actually give me a report going deeper into, there's actually a whole practice that you have to run around this, that makes this a much, much deeper kind of deeper process of a lot of reflection. And we do trainings on all of that kind of stuff when you have your Healy, so you don't need to know how to do it now. But yeah, it gives me these results here are telling me how much it's in my consciousness. So 90% means it's high in my consciousness. The 3 is kind of how willing I am to face it, whether it's going to create some conflict in my body. And then the next letters tell me whether it's coming from the spiritual realm, whether it's coming ancestrally, whether it's a cause of that being out of balance or an effect. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that's, and then again, I can vibrate these to myself. I'm just literally just giving you an overview here just to see what's available. And then there's another part of the Healy, which is called the coach, which is super powerful. And it's one of my favorite parts of the Healy. It's basically a frequency coach. So we can put in a focus as if it's happening. Like, I am living in farmhouse with love and peace all around me. I mean, that's just an example, but it could be anything. I'm going to choose a few areas that I want to focus on around this. Emotional balance for sure, family relationships. And again, I can scan deep into this and see what is currently coming up for me, but also ancestrally, that's stopping my house from being calm with love and peace all around me. Apart from the fact my husband's away and I'm doing everything myself. But this has given me a deep, deep dive, which again, we do go into as a community, so you can truly understand what this is telling you and what's the deeper work you need to do. But then not only that, you can vibrate the frequencies to yourself to bring this back into harmony and to create this to be your lived experience, as opposed to just a potential reality that is out there for you, but that you don't yet live as your lived experience. Because within the quantum field, everything is available to you. Every reality is available. That's what's so incredible. The only time something becomes real, according to quantum physics, is at the point of observation, which means if we can change our thought process, change our vibration, change our energy, change the energy and vibration of our surroundings, we actually are able to act as a magnet to new realities. And that's really where the Healy can help us on so many levels, physically with the microcurrent, but working emotionally, working on generational stuff through the coach and the aura scan and the backflow remedies and the homeopathy. It's just so many layers to it. And like, it's hard to express it in a short space of time. But much like Emily just said at the beginning of this call, and it was my experience too, if your body is intuitively listening to this and saying, you know what, this is something that feels right to me to explore it. Like, don't hesitate, because also you have 2 weeks, by the way, just important to note, like if you buy a Healy, you have 2 weeks to try it and you can send it back for a full refund if it doesn't resonate with you. And that's what I did. I spent 2 weeks with my Healy solidly, I really used it. And actually within a week, I was like, okay, I'm never sending this back. But I had that awareness that I could let my body fully decide. I had the intuitive hit, and then I could physically connect to my Healy over that 2-week period and let my body decide. So yeah, I think that's really important to note. So yeah, that's a little bit of an overview, speed overview.
Thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, there's so much. I feel everything we've said, every slide, every demo, everything, we could do a whole hour and more on each. I mean, there's just so much. It's so powerful. It's incredible. If you have any questions, then feel free to pop them in the chat. Do you want to talk a tiny bit about the business opportunity with Healy as well?
Sure. I mean, are you going to share the slide about the costs of the Healy and stuff, or are you going to send that?
So I will send that to people because I realized I'd got the wrong date. I think they're the same offers as the May ones, but I don't want to share it in case it's got the wrong like additional program thing on. because I know when I bought mine, I think someone told me I was getting a program that I didn't get. I got another one, which was fine, but I was like, I haven't got it, and I was asking her for weeks, like, but it's still not there. So I don't.
Do you want me to share it quickly? Is it helpful?
If you have it there, yeah.
Okay,
Find it.
I'll share it, and then at least people then have,
then people can see what. So we are recording this in June, so these, if you're watching this in July, this bit will change. You can ask whoever sent you to the call or the recording for the latest update, but this is
okay,
there
so,
we go.
So the offer this month is the Healy is 35% off. This is until the 18th of June, by the way. They often extend it, but not always, to the end of the month. So if you buy a resonance edition, and I'll explain this in a minute, you'll get a coil for free. So that's where you don't need to use the wires. We recommend you do use the wires sometimes, but it's nice to have the coil as an option. It's normally 200 and something pounds, so that's a really good deal to be getting that for free. The next model up, you get the coil, and you also get the personal growth database, which I'm so excited to explore more. It's for supporting you in your relationships, your intimate relationships with generational things that are stopping you from having, full kind of relationship harmony. And then the next model up, you get both of those things plus the travel case with that model. These are the prices. So the prices at the bottom show the 35% discount. And yeah, so with the professional, you get everything. Most people buy the professional or the Resonance Plus. If you have the funds available to you, do not hesitate to buy the professional, because especially when it's on offer, it means you get everything with the discount. You can upgrade later, but you then pay 100% upgrade. And actually, to upgrade from a Resonance Plus to a professional with the 100% upgrade is about £2,000. So it's significantly cheaper to get it with the discount. And yeah, you get the coach and the aura with the Resonance Plus and the professional. You don't get the coach and the aura capacity with the Resonance, which is the third model down, which is why most people get a Resonance Plus or a professional. With a professional, you get the bioenergetic defense program. So those ones I told you about: energy protection, planetary protection, sleep, energetic protection, EMF protection. You get the nervous system programs, you get the beauty programs, and you get all of those digital nutrition programs that I mentioned. And you can see, if you look at this, and if you're watching the recording, you can pause this, but you can see as we move down the program, the models, you just get less available on the pink app. So yeah, Deep Cycle H is the one that Jan Frederick came up with, that's supporting with various protocols. Learning is the neurodiversity, but concentration, memory, and then skin is skin, scars, and various other skin supportive programs. In terms of the business, what do I want to say? I mean, there's so much to say, but really, I think I'll just say this. I have run my own business now for well over a decade, and I have worked with businesses, a business like Healy, just one, to a very high level in terms of the model that Healy is. And I stopped being able to advocate and share that business because whilst I was having a lot of success with it, I was seeing over and over again other women not. And one of the things that excites me around this kind of model of business, where really women share something that they're passionate about, and men, if there are men listening too, but traditionally women, because women are looking for a more flexible way of working, often more than men are. We have within Healy the capability to actually make various. Oh, but where's the man? Is there a man here listening, or I can't see a man?
Oh, it's Elisa's husband.
Oh, hey. Hey. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's actually really great. Fabio, hey Fabio, it's really great about Healy compared to I always talk about this just really, really quickly, because what I've felt recently over the last few years is this kind of rising consciousness around the feminine, right? And many of us have been aware of this, and we had this really toxic version of I feel like a very toxic version of like the feminist movement, which was really about like creating equality for women, but actually forcing us into like a male and female role, feminine and masculine role, and exhausting us because we can't like escape or want to escape, you know, our roles as mothers and wives. And so then there was this like kind of push of like pushing down the masculine for the rise of the feminine. And I personally have been working a lot with women because of that. I feel like that energy of really moving towards the rise of that feminine energy. But what I'm experiencing now is that it's kind of led to this suppression of the really beautiful divine masculine energy within us as women ourselves, but also as the collective, the polarities of that. And what I really love about Healy, and I'm really excited about, is calling in more and more of that beautiful, positive, masculine energy in ourselves, because we need that structure to build a business, but also in partnership with men. And, you know, I'm really excited about that. So really lovely to have you here, Fabio, like calling in all the men. But yeah, it's really, you know, humans as a whole right now, like we've been through so much over the last few years and beyond before that as well. And there's been such a rise in consciousness as a collective, and a desire to be more free from the systems. And you know, I am so passionate about supporting people towards financial sovereignty, you know, as much sovereignty as we can gain as individuals. So we are not beholden to family, not beholden to partners, not beholden to the government, not beholden to employers. We can actually carve out a life for ourselves. And so when I very accidentally moved, you know, I work with mainly women in health coaching capacity, but also supporting people to learn how to grow food and to forage and, you know, all these aspects of sovereignty. I loved that this model could help support that amongst other humans, you know, this way of building a business separate from the system. But the other business that I worked for, I wasn't seeing it in the way that I wanted to. And so I actually stepped back and just focused on my coaching, and I had a good residual income from that still, but I was focusing on my coaching work. And then when Healy came in last year for me, I looked at this business model, I looked at the community, I looked at the compensation plan, I looked at what the device is intending to do for the world. And I was like, we actually have something in this whole package that is so, so powerful for this raising of the collective consciousness, but also this collective drive towards sovereignty as individuals, so that we can stand free as who we are as individuals, but family units. You know, coming back to that family unit is so important to me, because we're divided in the family, which is causing so many problems in society as a whole. So bringing that sovereignty back into the home. And you know, Healy is such an incredible model for financial sovereignty, because yeah, we can, you know, when we sell a Healy, we make, you know, a good income from it. You know, one Healy can make us, you know, between 200 and 500 euros per sale, depending on, you know, various factors, which we can explain if you are interested to learn more about it. But then also, if you choose to, that's just if you sell one to your neighbor or your friend or, you know, your mom. But if you choose to build your own community with it, and you are there stepping into like support and mentorship, Healy then, you know, rewards you for like supporting and mentoring other people, and you can create, you know, huge wealth with it, actually, huge wealth. So yeah, it's a very, very beautiful business model. And I say this not lightly, like stepping into a community like this and kind of choosing to build a business like this, you have so much access to so much support, but largely, you know, very much around your own personal growth too. And nothing in my experience compares to it. So when you buy a Healy, which hopefully you want for yourself, you're buying into this incredible container and incredible community for your own growth and support as well, personally, but also ideally financially too. So that's just like an overview without going into detail.
Yeah, that's amazing, Rochelle. I think like every day that I am in this community, I just have to like pinch myself because I'm just like, I can't believe just how supportive and true and real it is. And then also the beautiful way that the Healy itself, through the coach app, supports you to step into the person you need to be within Healy for growing your business, if that's what you choose to do. Just like, that's just absolutely incredible. And you know, we'll, both of us are happy to speak to anyone more about this. If you want to contact us, and we can tell you more about the business or any part of what we've talked about. I can see that Joe has asked a question that's actually a good one to just kind of finish with, I guess, just in case anyone sort of missed that. And it's about just a recap of when to use the coil and when to use the wrist straps.
Sure.
So I think, do you want to answer this, Rochelle, in case I don't say anything?
Because I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, Joe, I went to Berlin a few weeks ago to the Healy convention, and I was, you know, a bit sort of unsure what I was going to experience, because it was from a corporate level, and you know, not us hippy dippy women sharing this, but I was just blown away by the heart of these people, just so incredible. And I love to learn, like Emily said at the beginning as well, I love to learn. And so I went in with the scientists. So I was like, tell me this and tell me that. And I actually asked them to explain to me the different applications of Healy, because there are actually 4. One of them is the mag Healy, which I don't know if any of you have. So we'll move that, we'll skip that one. But the first one, so microcurrent, is using the wrist straps. So that's putting voltage into the body, into the cells, into the organs, and the frequencies are designed per program to match a resonance, like the tuning forks, with the particular cells of the body, with the organs you're working with the emotional energetic centers. So we're putting that voltage directly into our body using the wrist straps, and it cannot be missed. Like 2 to 3 times a day is optimal for most people. Bio-individuality is really important though. Like, you may be someone, or you may know someone that actually once a week is enough. So always staying connected to your body and the individual body if you're supporting them. The coil is a very different application. So the coil, you can see one coil here. And this is, by the way, what comes free this month with the Healy. And I think, Joe, you already have it, right? So there's one coil here, but there's also another coil that you can't see that's inside the coil. It's really badly named for the UK market, because the only market where it also means a reproductive protection. Not that I don't know if anyone on this call would have one, but you know, a lot of people do know the coil as that. So these 2 coils are basically creating 2 magnetic fields that actually cancel each other out. I'm just going to tell you exactly what the scientist said to me. So these 2 magnetic fields create, the coil creates 2 magnetic fields, both of them positive and negative, that cancel each other out, and it creates something called a quantum potential frequency. And then this is basically the information. So remembering that we talked about the information field, that the information is what informs energy, that, you know, the language of which is frequency. So this is basically creating information for the body, physically generating information for the body to receive within our environment. It has like a 3-foot radius, the coil does. So it's putting information into that space that then our body takes in and uses to harmonize the different elements of the body. So it's much more gentle much more gentle on the body. Someone with a pacemaker can use it. Someone with a pacemaker cannot use the microcurrent. You can use it on more, I won't say what kind of people you can use it on because I'm not allowed, but more humans of different ages that are more sensitive. We're only allowed to say adults can use it. Yeah, just it's just much more gentle, which means that we can do our 2 to 3 applications of microcurrent a day, plus use the coil a few times as well if we want to, or if we're feeling a bit more sensitive, we can just use the coil. And for women who are bleeding, actually using the coil only during the bleed is a good idea, because the microcurrent can increase too much blood flow in the body. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer that question.
Does that help, Jo? Do you want to just maybe give us, I think she's writing things down. Amazing.
Did you say there was a 4th way as well?
Yes.
That's the vibration into the information field.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. So that's not physically generated information, because the coil is physically generating information. When we're working with the information field, it's working with the quantum sensor in the information field. And yeah, I wish I could talk more about how that worked, but I can't. I'm not a quantum physicist. Go on, tell me.
And remind me how we know which programs you can use for either of them. I don't think I've actually grasped this.
When you go into the pink app, it says IMF on the ones that you can use the coil with, or the wrist straps. You ask your daughter to be quiet, so she stands in her bedroom banging her wardrobe doors. Why? Oh, I think she's trying to shut herself in her wardrobe, actually. Sometimes she likes to do that. That makes her sound absolutely mental, but she's not. She's just a 9-year-old girl. Savannah, darling, what are you doing?
Oh, bless her.
Okay.
So I think I will stop the recording.
Great. Bye.
And if anyone has any more questions, then just reach out to me, to Rochelle, to whoever sent you here, or to the recording